Hey, you guys. Happy Sunday. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know. Let me know. Hey, Forgotten. Hey, Mr. Troy. Welcome in, you guys. I hope everyone is doing well on this lovely Sunday. Hey, Lolita. Hey, Nita. Hey, Rosalind. Hey, sis. How are you? Hugs and prayers. Love you. Thank you so much, girl. I need them, honey. Hey, Gwen. Welcome in. Welcome in. Um, I thought I would come on and give y'all a quick live since I've been MIA for a few days. But if you guys were over in Amber's live the other day, I had shared that I am in New York. Hi Nancy, welcome in, baby. Happy Sunday. I'm in New York, child. I'm a U.S. citizen, y'all. Hey Beverly, welcome in, baby. Anyway, so yeah, I'm in New York, you guys. And so I wanted to talk about this topic. This I just want to give you guys a trigger warning. This is about grief. And so, if that is something that you struggle with or it may trigger you in some way, I totally understand. And I do encourage you to exit the live. Um, I don't plan on trying to be mushy, but y'all know how I do. I like to kick topics to you guys and, kind of give you a life lesson at the same time. Welcome back to the stage. Listen, Lolita, girl. Child, I don't know how to act. Do you hear me? Just like, yeah, let me get some of that. Let me get some of that. Because we ain't got that in Germany. um, but anyway, my grandmother is she's old, guys. She's older. If she is blessed to see her birthday in May, my grandmother will be 88 years old. And so she's old and she's tired. And she's lived a very long and full life. And so she was in the hospital this past week for a number of days, and they couldn't get certain things under control, so I booked the flight because listen, Linda, okay, there's been times in the past when I was living in the States where when she's been sick in the past, y'all, the last time she got really sick like this, I had just had my baby girl Ava, and she was only a few months old, and I put her right in the car with me and I drove. I think it was like probably 18 hours, and I drove it straight to see about my grandma. So y'all already know what it gives with my grandma. Hey Veronica, welcome in, baby. So anyway, so I jumped the flight. By the time I had landed here and started driving towards the hospital, they had discharged her. So my grandmother is home and she's doing as well as she can. But like I told you, she's old and she's tired, you guys. And so at one point I was like, oh dang, maybe I jumped the gun, maybe I shouldn't have come, maybe I should have waited or what have you. Hey Tangela, welcome in. Hey Vet, welcome in, baby. Happy Sunday. But then when I saw my grandmother and I realized that she's very feeble, she's very weak, and she's very tired. And just her condition, now she has to use certain equipment and things like that to get around. They have given her finally home health assistance or what have you, but there's some kinks with that as well, as far as like, I guess there's a process that happens with home health where depending on the interview will determine how many hours you can get in a week, right? And so my grandmother has also been diagnosed with Alzheimer's probably about 2 years ago, right? And so her memory is just not the best in conjunction with other things that she has going on. And so I'm assuming because of the way the interview is done for the home health, the hours are basically miscalculated, right? So she does have help, but she does not have the amount of help that she needs. And so with this last situation, basically they're saying she really needs someone there with her majority of the time, right? Because like I said, her condition is just declining and things like that. So anyway, that's just to give y'all a brief rundown. And so I was sitting here in my room and I was looking up signs and symptoms of end of life because I feel like that is what I am witnessing, right? Like just as I'm watching her compared to who she was before, right? My grandmother is a very independent woman. She always has been for her most of her life. And so to see her now in a state of almost full dependency, it's like, wow, you know? So anyway, I was looking up the signs and nearly all of them are there, you know. Let me see what it said, you guys. I can pull it up for you real quick. Um, it said things like fatigue, spending a lot of time sleeping and resting, which is true, because I go sit with her for most of the day that I've been here each day, and she's in and out of sleep almost the entire day. And then she'll wake up and tell you about a random memory, you know, from many years ago and things like that. Then it talks about like weight loss and like appetite changes and things like that. Thank you so much for the prayers, you guys. And that's it. Like today she had breakfast, maybe like 10:30, and I got ready to leave later this evening, and I was like, "Hey grandma, you know, do you want something else or maybe some juice?" And she's like, "No, not today." And she went back to sleep, you know, so she's only eating like once a day again, and that's one of the physical changes that it lists for end of life. And then things like, you know, shallow breathing, her always being cold. Baby, listen, Linda, I was sweating bullets. Okay, it was so hot in my grandma's house, y'all, and she's just like, "You want a blanket?" Like she thought I was cold, and I'm like, "No, grandma, like I'm dying slowly over here, but for you, baby, I'm gonna sweat all these hours or whatever." But it's very hot. And it's actually kind of cool today in New York, but baby, you ain't gonna be cold in grandma house. But you know, again, that's a sign. They're always cold. Her, you know, extremities are cold, things like that. She's in a lot of pain. That's just kind of unexplained. She's got all this medication and she's just like, oh, I can't take it, it's too much, you know, and things like that. And then, of course, like cognitive decline, which that kind of comes with the whole, you know, Alzheimer's and things like that. Being very withdrawn, like she doesn't like to go out. She's, you know, she's not very excited. And I'm not gonna hold y'all, when I showed up and she opened the door, my grandma did not know who I was, y'all, for like the first, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes. And I knew that this time would come, but when it actually comes, right? And so I went through this a little bit with my husband's grandmother many years ago. She's already passed away. And so you know, I didn't understand because I wasn't going through it. I knew it was like, dang, that's crazy. But then when you experience it, you know, it's like, wow, like I was so excited. And I'm like, oh, this will like lift her spirits, you know, to see that I popped up and she didn't even know who I was. And so I had to accept that, you know, and roll with it or whatever. So anyway, I say all of this to say I was sitting here thinking and just reflecting on different things. Thank you, Antonia. And I was just like, wow, is this selfish? You know, that I don't want my loved one to pass away. And I'm sure a lot of us have experienced that when we've experienced loss, right? And I know the answer to that question, which is no. You know, it's just a human response, y'all. It's natural for you not to want to lose a loved one that you really care about. And the crazy part is, this experience is different for me because obviously I have lost loved ones before, right? Like I have, this is not my first family member that has passed away or that will pass away or, you know, what have you. But what I'm understanding in this situation, and this is some of the things that I talk about on my platform, is that I'm realizing that not everybody is means the same to you, basically, right? And it doesn't mean that you love more, you know, one family member more than the other, but like we as people, right, we mean different things to different people. And so you know, I can remember things that, you know, I've done with my grandmother over the years, and like how I would go to her house in the summer and kick it with my cousins, you know, just very, I can remember very you know, specific details or what have you. And then to see her, you know, move into older age and still just be very humble and helpful and loving to people that I have seen disrespect her and treat her nasty or whatever. And she still remains like so solid. And then to see her in this, you know, she's at the end of her life. And it's like, wow, like, you know, because I have some family members and they think I'm insane. Like, well, you flew all the way over here from Germany. Like, it ain't that serious. You know, she's home, she's fine. Yeah, but I don't know how much longer she's gonna live. right? And so I'm so glad I took this trip because I may or may not see my grandmother again. I do have another trip planned to see her for her birthday, which is in May. But what if she doesn't, make it until then, And so I say all of this to say, you guys, and it's so crazy because I actually got a text about another coworker today, and her brother passed unexpected. Well, I wouldn't say unexpectedly. He's been sick for a while, and so she's struggling because she kept putting off going to see him, knowing his condition, and then now he's gone, and so, and so of course she shared that with my daughter today in my absence, and so I reached out to her, to extend that love and hugs to her. But it's like, the thing for me is we take life so for granted, you guys. Like I hate it's gonna be a terrible loss. I'm not gonna lie. Like that there's a couple people in my life that I am just not gonna be okay when they pass away at first, right? But it's like I it kind of made me think, right? When if I get to live to see 87 years old, right? I have people in the world that will feel the way I feel about my grandmother when I pass away. Hi, blessed beyond measures. Welcome in, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and these are the things that we don't think about, right? Like we just out here living life, doing whatever, treating people however, right? And you don't even know that you could be at the end of your life and not know, like I'm looking like, wow, that is amazing, right? Like, of course, I don't want to lose my grandmother, and it's going to break my little heart whenever she does leave. But it's like she has lived a full life, right? She's touched so many lives, she's helped so many people, and although all of those people, some of them I would say, don't acknowledge it or don't they don't care or think about it in this moment, right? Because people take life for granted and it passes people by so quickly or whatever. But my thing is like when I am at the end of my life, right? If I am blessed to know I am nearing the end of my life, right? Are there going to be people here that are like, dang, I don't want Ashley to pass away? You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, I'm going to miss this about Ashley. You know what I'm saying? And I wish that, there were more people that would stop and think, about how they're conducting their lives or how they're going through life and doing this and that and all that, because a lot of this nonsense, y'all, don't matter. It don't matter. Like in this moment, y'all, I could not think about nothing else that I care about outside of my kids, of course, and my husband. I do miss them and I'll be back home in a few days. But my thing is all the other insignificant things, right? All the other things that I enjoy about life right now. To be honest with you guys, I've had no desire to partake in any of those things, right? Like I was so excited, like, oh, I'm going to see my grandma, but oh, I'm excited to go to the States. I mean, I've been in this room, you know what I'm saying? Not depressed or anything like that, but just because all I'm thinking about is, wow, like what if this is the last time that I will get to spend, this quality time with my grandmother? You know what I'm saying? Instead of getting all wrapped up in the riffraff of life. You know what I'm saying? And when you are something else that I'm realizing right now is that grief starts before the loss, right? And again, like I said, I have not experienced it to this extent because yes, I've lost other family members, but my relationships with those family members are not the same relationship that I've had with my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like you start grieving ahead of time and you're trying to prepare yourself because you know it's coming, it's inevitable, right? But of course, realistically, there's no way to prepare, right? Because you can think you're ready until it's time, and then you realize you're not ready. You know what I'm saying? And so, I'm realizing that there's grief and what they call anticipatory grief, which occurs when you know that a loved one is nearing the end of their life, and all the signs are there, y'all. She's tired. She's so tired, y'all. Like it's, I mean, having a conversation with her is hard, and so um I just sit and I think and I'm like, wow, like, and I still see all the nonsense online, all the different crazy things that people are doing for clout. Like I just shared a story yesterday about, the transgender woman that basically was trying to make it look like she had something going on with Boosie and then got mad because it backfired, and then you come online and you're ranting and you're screaming at people and you're angry and you know what I'm saying? It's just like there's people here fighting for their lives, right? There's people here fighting cancer. There's people here that are at the end of their life and they have no control over the fact that they're not going to be here much longer. And you got people on here so wrapped up in nonsense, right? Like I was just talking to my cousin because she pulled up too. She's in Maryland and she came, to help with grandma and things like that. And, we were just talking about all the things that are happening politically and, and I'm just like, it's just crazy. Like, how is it? And then people get mad like when people start talking, spiritual or biblical and they say things like, oh, these are the signs of the time and, all of that, but y'all not paying attention. You know what I'm saying? Like all the signs are there because people are paying attention to the things that don't matter and the things that are not getting us anywhere and that are not helping us in no type of way, right? And so me and my cousin were having conversations, and I was even telling her about how, like people are like young people in their 30s are getting like cancer diagnosis left and right. I was telling her about my coworker that I shared with you guys not that long ago, and she's like, yeah, she's like, I even had a medical scare and, and different things, and I'm just sitting here like all the things in life that really matter. We're letting it all pass us by. And then I'm sitting here having conversations with my 87-year-old grandmother and she's telling me about things like, oh, well, I wish I had done this differently, or I wish I regret doing this, or I should have done things this way. And you know what I'm saying? And then the things we care about, right? Like we trying to figure out what we gonna eat for dinner, what movie we gonna watch, what show we gonna watch, who live we gonna pull up on, and all she want to do is just sleep and get rest because she's so tired and life it's just so hard, for her to do basic life things. It takes all of this energy from her, to have to get up and do things, and losing control of your body functions and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy because we blow it off like it's nothing. And this could be your reality tomorrow. You don't the crazy thing that's going over a lot of our heads is my grandmother was blessed to be at the age that she is, but a lot of people are not seeing those ages. If y'all pay attention to people that are they're losing their lives and things like that, they're not that age. They're me and your age. You know what I'm saying? Because we out here worried about things that don't matter. We not paying attention to our health. We not paying attention to the foods and things that we're eating. We're entertained by things that we shouldn't be entertained by. You know what I'm saying? Or at least not for too long. We giving too much to things that don't matter over time. Let me look at the comments real quick, y'all. Denise Speaks just made a post about the appreciation of life. I'm telling you, wow, so this is right on time. Lolita says that's a terrible disease. It's heartbreaking. Prayers for you and your grandmother. Thank you, Lolita. Hey, Blessed Beyond Measures. If I didn't speak to you earlier, baby, you're welcome, sis. I remember how it hit me when my mother was going through the same thing. I still explain how I felt when my mother didn't remember me. That was a gut punch. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean, it took her a few minutes and she did come back too, but like I said, I witnessed that with my husband and his grandmother. And I was like, dang, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, because until you experience it, you think, like, no way, like, this is your family member. They're never going to forget you. But people don't understand, like, how powerful, different illnesses and things are. You lose control of your basic functions. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have, like, aisles in the grocery stores and CVS and things that says incontinence. Like, there are people who lose control of their bowels and they have, like, can you imagine how much it kills your pride and your self-esteem? And, especially if you are an independent person, your whole life, and now you have no control over your basic body functions. You know what I'm saying? You don't understand, why you're hurting and why you're this and why you got to take all these pills. And if you don't, like, what is it going to do, to your body or your health? You know what I'm saying? And we blow stuff like that off. It's just crazy. Hey, Sexy Ray baby. Just went through this with my mother. Love your story. Thank you so much, Amanda. I'm glad to see, I'm glad you went to see her. Me too, Tanya. Me too. Especially like I said, after getting that message from my daughter, like, hey, your coworker told me to tell you this, or whatever. And I was like, wow. And I talked about this on a previous live. I don't know if it was on this page or my other page, but I will check when I get off of this live. And if it was on the other live, then I will upload it on here so you guys can hear it. But I talked about how sometimes we get signs in life and we don't pay attention. You know what I'm saying? And things that happen, or when we see different, like when we get the signs, y'all, we ignore them because we feel like, no, we're bugging, we're tweaking, that's not what it is, or whatever, and we'll talk ourselves out of it. We know that was a real sign. And I when I told my daughter, I was like, thank you so much for texting me this. I was like, because this is confirmation that I made the right choice by coming to see her, because I was thinking, dang, okay, I flew all the way. I literally had just got off the plane. I was on the highway in the rental car trying to get to her, and my aunt texted and was like, hey, they released her, she's home. So then I was like, dang, maybe I jumped the gun, because it was expensive, a last minute flight. I'm in a hotel, and no shade. Ashley Chats is very particular about hotels, y'all. Ooh, chill. It's got to be, listen, Linda. So, it cost me a lot of money, but I was just like, I don't care about that because I can always make the money back. You know what I'm saying? I can't always have my grandmother back. And so, again, priorities. And then I hear the story from my coworker and I'm thinking, wow, like, because she probably was thinking like me, oh, maybe I could wait, let me save some money, let me do this and this, and now our brother's gone. You know what I'm saying? And he's been sick a while, so it was a gamble, and she took a gamble, y'all. And now, you got to add that into the actual grief that comes with the loss. And that can be a lot to bear, you know what I'm saying? And so that's why we got to prioritize, right? Like the things it's amazing to me, like how we'll blow money on things that are not important, right? Like go to have dinner for $200, go buy the new iPhone, and ain't nothing wrong with your current phone. Oh, go buy this, go spend money on that or whatever. But then when it's things like this, right? Precious moments and precious memories that could last you a lifetime, right? When I get on this plane Tuesday evening and I go back to Germany, and if they call me and say, your grandmother passed away, of course, I'm gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt. I'm gonna be upset, but I will be okay with knowing that I took that trip. I followed my gut instinct and I pulled up and I saw her. And she's just been very appreciative. Like, thank you so much for coming. Like, and I know it was a sacrifice and all. And my grandmother's just always been like that, so I'm not surprised that that was her response or what have you. But again, again, not paying attention to signs. And I feel like, dang, what's the chances? Like, my daughter's like, yeah, your coworker told me to tell you this, or whatever. And so it was confirmation for me, like, yep, I made the right choice. Hey, Robin, baby, welcome in. Hey, A Stokes. Um, let's see, time is not on anyone's side. I'm telling you, Gwen. I'm telling you, I heard a couple content creators talking about the loss of a supporter here on the app, y'all. That listen, the crazy part it's us, y'all, that's passing away. It's us dropping dead for no reason, or maybe there were health problems. Like, I had a distant cousin that passed away, like maybe a month ago, out of nowhere, just had a heart attack and died. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, Pammy Poo, so that's what I'm saying. And I don't want this to scare you guys, or I'm not trying to give nobody anxiety or create panic or anything, but it's just like, y'all, please, like, just take those moments, y'all. Life is so precious. And imagine you take your last breath today and you spent it bullshitting all day. You know what I'm saying? Or you spent it tearing somebody down. Or you spent it, worrying about some shit that didn't matter, right? Or you spent it online all day and not spending it with your kids. You know what I'm saying? And now your kids are motherless or fatherless. You know what I'm saying? And like, these are things that we should think about. There's so many people that have siblings, loved ones, mothers, fathers, that some of us don't have no more. Like, there are certain holidays where people struggle. Mother's Day, not everyone still has their mom. Not everyone still has their dad. And the list goes on. You know what I'm saying? So, like, just pay attention to the things in your life that really, mean a lot to you, because life is just so short, you guys. And the way, like, the world is going and the economy, and like whoever just said, Gwen, time is not on your side, and neither is this world or the economy, all that. Like, Trump is doing so much stuff and unraveling so much stuff, y'all. Y'all better pray and figure out what you believe in and stick to it. Cause I'm telling you, you're gonna have to believe in something. Hey Patricia, welcome in, baby. Cause I'm telling you, time is not on nobody's side, y'all. Like it's getting crazy out here, it's getting thick out here. And these are the times where you should really love on, your people and the people that you care about and value the time and things, that are important to you, because this nonsense that we're seeing day in and day out in the world, online, on TV, these TV shows and all, like it's just toxic craziness. You know what I'm saying? Like I was catching up on Black Beauty in the Black or whatever, the Tyler Perry show on Netflix. And I was just shocked and appalled, right? Because I'm like, it's so sad that this is a representation of the black community. And yes, it's very, very entertaining and it'll have your ass in a chokehold because I definitely was binge watching the fuck out of it flying all the way over here until I went to sleep. But my thing is, it's like, this is sad, like that this is the way that people see the black community. You know what I'm saying? And us as a black community, we find it entertaining. You know what I'm saying? And we shouldn't. Like those are not things that should be entertaining. It should kind of ruffle your feathers a little bit, right? Like it should trouble you a little bit, or at least put you in a mind frame to like challenge your life and how you see life and how you interact with people. You know what I'm saying? Or you want to be the difference so that you don't have that same family dynamic or the same toxicity in your life. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not it. That's not it. But unfortunately, it's a reality for a lot of people. Because I've heard people talking about it for months, but I mean, little things, little details in the storyline, and I don't want to give away too much, but I'm looking at one of the main characters that's a dancer or whatever, and I'm thinking, wow, like, can you imagine being 17, 18 years old and your mom literally telling you to get out, like dropping you off in the street somewhere, like at night you're a little girl, you're 18 years old, you have no clue in life, and your mom puts you out because her man ain't feeling you or don't want you in the house or whatever. And then you gotta find your way and you end up in this crazy life, and you're dancing and you're being abused by different men and strangers, and like just a whole life of toxic abuse, and you think that this is normal, but you know that it's not normal. She's shedding a lot of tears, and and it's just like, that's crazy, but it's a real reality for a lot of people, y'all. It's a real reality for a lot of people. And then like her friend losing her life, trying to be the beauty standard, of society. Those are real stories. Like how many of y'all have seen so many TV shows where, or not TV shows, but like news reportings and things of people flying to these random countries or going to get these butt shots and things and dying, like Miami. I don't know who in their right mind still flying to Miami for any type of cosmetic work. So many people have died flying to Miami and something going wrong or going left. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, but again, our focus is everywhere that it shouldn't be, because we're trying to keep up with beauty standards, we're trying to keep up with the world and the Joneses, and we got to look like we got all the money and we got it all to figured out and all that, and life is passing us by. And then you get smacked with a diagnosis and you can't figure out what happened, how did it happen, because you ain't paying attention to your health. You're not paying attention to your family. You're not paying attention to your kids. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to figure out what's wrong with your kid, or why the kid is, acting out, or doing crazy stuff, or skipping school or whatever, because you got your attention focused on stuff that don't matter. Stuff that don't matter. And life is just passing you by. And then you got moments like what I'm dealing with where, dang, I am I'm gonna lose a loved one that I care a lot about. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I kind of feel selfish. Um, Although, like I said, it's a human reaction to not want to lose someone that you care about or whatever. But it's a double whammy, right? Because here I look at it like, I don't want to lose my grandmother, but at the same time, I don't want her here suffering, right? I don't want her here in pain all day, every day, aching, getting the help, maybe not getting the help. The healthcare person show up, maybe they won't, just all these different things. And I can't physically be here because I'm across the world. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Lolita says it's usually always signs something is not right in our bodies. Some of us tend to ignore, pay attention to what your body is saying. Exactly, Lolita. And then also, hey Kiana, welcome in, baby. Also, with the current status of the healthcare, it doesn't help. It doesn't help because they blow you off, you know what I'm saying, and they don't take it serious. You can have all the signs in the world. I think I shared a video. I think it's on this page. There's a black girl on the thumbnail. I can't think of the name of it off top, but that story is about her. She went to a hospital. She was in a lot of pain in her leg. They checked her out. They said that they didn't see anything and they discharged her, and she wouldn't leave, but they thought she was trying to be, indignant, like, oh, I'm not leaving. She couldn't leave, y'all. She couldn't walk. And guess what? They called the cops on her. The cops drug her to jail, like literally carry her in jail like she was a sack of potatoes. Like somebody had her feet, somebody had her arms, and laid her on the floor in the cell. She was in there screaming and crying, y'all. And like 10, 15 minutes later, she was deceased because she had a blood clot in her leg and it went to her lung and she lost her life. Black girl. And of course, she was homeless, and things like that. So they ignored her. She probably didn't have no insurance. Y'all know how it goes. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why you gotta, hey, D Ham, welcome in. That's why you got to take care of yourself because the medical system and things like that don't care about you. And that's why I said, like, our attention be everywhere that it shouldn't be instead of the things that really matter in our life, like our health, you know what I'm saying? Or the people that we really love, investing time into your kids and stuff. Yeah, y'all don't even understand. My girls are like my little girlfriends, and not saying like that there's no level of respect there. I'm saying like I spend a lot of time talking to my kids. Like, because of the time difference with me being here and they're still in Germany, I talked to my daughter yesterday on FaceTime like 2 hours, y'all. 2 hours. I'm like, hey, what's good? Like, what's up? Like, how you feeling? Like, let's talk. Because I want my kids to know I don't care where I'm at in the world. I care about you and I care about your future and how you feel and what you got going on. Yeah, I got a lot going on right now. Yes, I'm over here visiting my grandmother. And y'all wouldn't even believe. Not only am I over here trying to take care of my grandma and do all that, I'm over here doing orders. I've reached out to a few of you, like, hey girl, I got your order and I'm shipping it out because I brought work with me and I'm still taking care of my grandmother and trying to make sure my kids are good at home because those are the things that matter to me, right? Yes, I'm dealing with whatever I'm dealing with, but I care about my business. I care about the fact that y'all are, y'all doing business with me. So I'm still going to deliver what I said I'm going to deliver to you and still take care of the things that matter. And when you can focus on all of the things that actually matter in your real life, right? You ain't got time for the extra nonsense. You just don't. I'm telling you, you don't have time. You can't even keep up because you're focused on the things that matter to you. When I'm not with my grandmother, I'm in my room working on orders. Like I literally got passport covers on my bed right now, stones, glue, everything. Stanley cups, all of that. Because I was like, well, since I'm over there, I'm going to be over there for this amount of days. I'm going to take a few projects with me so that I can still get the orders out and stuff and not be just sitting in, oh, I'm depressed. Oh, I'm going through whatever I'm going through. Oh, I'm this. Because again, we get wrapped up in stuff that don't matter. Am I sad? Of course I'm sad at times, but I still understand that life goes on and things move forward. You know what I'm saying? And the best thing to do when you're going through a lot of stuff is to stay busy on other things that matter. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna allow my business or my professional interaction with people who are investing in me and believing in me, right? Just because I'm going through something in my personal life. And a lot of us, we like to rely on excuses, right? Well, I was going through this, I had this going on. So that don't matter, girl. It don't matter, respectfully. You know what I'm saying? But we get so wrapped up again in things that don't matter. I could be depressed in the room and just binge watch stuff, knowing I got other shit I need to do. Or I could be a big girl, right? Have my moment if I need to have a moment and then still get back to other things that also matter to me in my life, right? Because let's be real, people who love you and you love them back, they want the best for you. My grandmother would not want me to just neglect my business, you know what I'm saying, over something that is inevitable and that's going to happen, whether that's now, tomorrow, next week, 2 months from now, next year, whenever it's going to be. She still would want me to move forward and push forward in life, right? So let me catch up on these comments. Hey, Lisa Smith. I don't know why I can't see you. I can't see some of you guys. And some of you guys have wrote under my comments and was like, "Am I blocked? I still support you." Listen, baby, nobody's blocked, y'all. It's YouTube, I promise. Nobody's blocked. I can see you guys like on the like when you comment on the community posts and replays and things like that, but if I don't reply to you, I probably can't. Like when I do it, it tells me I'm not able to. But no one's blocked you guys. I'm not there's no ill feelings or anything with anybody, y'all. And Lolita says, my parents died 6 months apart. I watched both of them take their last breath. Praying for your family. You're absolutely correct. We need to focus real life instead of YouTube drama. I agree, Lolita. And I'm very sorry for your loss. I can't even imagine. I cannot even imagine. Hey, good morning, gorgeous. How are you, baby? Coming out the bushes to say I support this meaningful message wholeheartedly. Sending love to your grams. Great live. Have a beautiful Sunday. Thank you so much. That means a lot. It really does. Big facts. I need a passport cover, please. Yes, Gwen. Write me on my Instagram. I'm gonna put it in the chat right now. DM me on Instagram, and I will definitely get that in works for you. Passport covers are quick, y'all. I can do your passport cover in like 2 or 3 days or less. They're quick. Um, let's see. Hey, T Nice, welcome in, baby. Candy kisses if I didn't speak to you, baby. Welcome in. Um, so anyway, y'all, this was just short and sweet. I don't want to hold you guys too long. I have brought again. I'm on my laptop. Guess what? That means I packed it. I told y'all, listen. Listen, Linda, when you got real shit going on in real life, you don't put all of that down because you're going through something, right? Use that as a way to motivate you to push forward and push through and take your moments as you need them or whatever, but don't allow it to knock you off of other things that you care about and work on in life. I knew that there was a potential of me going live while I was out of town, so I brought my equipment. So that's how I'm able to still do this live. I have my laptop and all of my headsets and all of that. So I was like, you know what, let me do a quick live because I do have a topic and I wanted to make sure that I would have what I needed if I did want to do a live or whatever. So I've been able to do this, and when I get off of here, which I'll be ending it very shortly, I'll get back to doing my orders. And if you have made an order with me, make sure you check your Instagram because you may have a message from me saying, "Hey, girl, I'm ready to ship your order." um, because I have even more that are still waiting. So anyway, I love y'all. I hope you guys have an amazing Sunday. I hope that you were able to take something from this message. I try not to make it too heavy or too mushy or whatever, but please, I do encourage you guys, just do some self-reflecting, y'all. What's important to you in your real life outside of being entertained? And there's nothing wrong with being entertained, you know what I'm saying? But there's also things that you should be taken more serious and be entertained while still getting to your goals and things that you're working on in life that actually mean something to you and your future. Don't get so wrapped up to where now you're distracted, now you off center, you supposed to be doing this and now you watching this and you don't lost track of time and now your business is impacted or people don't trust you or don't want to work with you or can't rely on you. You're not dependable because you're getting wrapped up in things that don't matter. Lolita says, enjoy the rest of your day, Ashley. Thank you so much, Lolita. Hey, Hassan, welcome in, baby. I am doing well. But anyway, I love y'all. I'm going to jump up off here. If you just came in or you didn't catch the beginning of the live, definitely catch the replay for me. And y'all, please be so kind to hit that like button for me because it does help me in the algorithm. Free says, love and light, sis. Thank you, baby. Kisses back to you, baby. Anyway, I love y'all, short and sweet, and I will catch you guys when I go live again. Y'all have a great the rest of your Sunday, and I hope you have a great start to your week. I'll talk to you guys again soon.